Good to go?
Yeah,
All
we're
right,
good.
sweet. 3, 2, 1. Hey, guys, what is going on? And welcome to episode 80, number 80 of the KBMOD podcast. You know, it's been a while since I've made a super big deal about how many numbers we're up to, but it's starting to get a little bit out of hand. I said it like a retard there. How many numbers we're up to? 80.
How many
80 numbers.
Yes!
That's not even 2 hands worth. I can't do it.
We're now an octogenarian.
Or, yay.
80 is a big number.
Yeah, 80 is a big number, though. That's fucking 80
think that's
episodes.
the age where you
Next
give
week
no
will be up to
fucks.
the amount of blunts that
80s.
Snoop Lion smokes per day. 81.
We're still,
What he said
Yeah.
on his Reddit AMA, he said he smokes 81 blunts a day.
81. Yeah. I think that was a troll. I don't know. I just can't.
He seems pretty set on the number 81 blunts.
You can't.
That's true. It was very
Just
specific.
can't. Well, maybe if he's smoking them while he's asleep too. I mean, I don't know.
I think it's just entire existence is. I mean, he's always just has one in his hand, but if
But
he
I
smoked,
feel
maybe
like
it's
he's
not like a
he's-
catheter, but it's like
he must take a hit and then throw it away. That's
I feel
the only
like he's passing. This is just hits of the blunt. This isn't
Right.
blunts,
Oh,
like full
yeah.
blunts.
I
If
think
he
you're
did
right.
81 blunts a day, he wouldn't be standing by noon. Like,
Oh, he's
even
pretty.
Snoop Lion.
Yeah.
Even a man of his weed stature would not be.
He's pretty talented smoker.
special announcement. Podcast 81. Snoop Lion coming as a guest.
Snoop Lion. It is a good point to point out. Someone pointed out that we get a bigger number every week, which is a pattern that I've been noticing. Which is impressive. So that's a good observation. It is getting bigger every week. So yeah, 80 weeks, guys. Though 80 weeks. Not a lot of people don't do any 80 weeks. It hasn't been totally in a row because there are holidays and stuff. But we've been pretty. I mean, what's the most we've ever missed at any given time? Like 2 weeks, maybe.
Yeah,
for
like
holidays.
2 weeks.
Christmas
Just
and
2
New Year.
weeks for
Yeah. So that's pretty. It's pretty fucking good, and you guys have been sticking with us, so that's appreciated. Well, let's get into what we've been
Growing
playing.
up with our viewers.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Or they've been growing up with us, which is the scary part. They probably shouldn't be watching it.
I wonder if we've our podcast has gone through puberty with anyone.
Like, what are we gonna do if we're still doing? We will be. Well, we will be in like 6 years, 7 years. We'll be like, when we have the KBMOD 10th anniversary, I'm probably just gonna kill myself because I mean it'll be great, but I'm gonna be like, I am never going to be an adult, which I'm fine with, but I just like that we get to. Oh God.
By that time, Activision will have bought us or something. So it's,
And then we'll be sponsored by the Call of Duty 20. So.
Welcome to KBMOD podcast, sponsored by Call of Duty 9, Modern Warfare. Yeah, I'm
it's
down with
it's
that.
back. It's the reboot of COD 4. It's just the reboot.
Double HD Modern Warfare 3 re-release. Welcome back.
On the new console that doesn't have a controller, you install motion. God, it's gonna be great.
Play COD 4 all over again.
Except
Go
shittier.
back to the roots.
With microtransactions.
So what have we been doing this week? Let's start with Brandon as far as gaming and just general.
Brandon's had a big week, I would say.
Brandon Gaming.
Yeah, it's. I
Yeah,
can
it's
see
funny,
your
the-
apartment's already pretty much
My
out.
temporary period of unemployment, I have actually done almost no gaming. I played a little bit of Binding of Isaac because I finally wanted to get into that, and then
Yeah.
I hated it. I mean, I love it. I love it, but I hate it.
Yeah, that's pretty much
It's
how
so
it goes.
hard.
And so I just got into that a little bit, and then threw my keyboard across the room. And then this was technically last week, but since I was flying and wasn't here, I started playing The Walking Dead, and I got through episodes of that.
Feels. So many feels.
So,
dude.
yeah, I
They're gonna-
tweeted last week that I feel like there's never a right decision. Like, I'm constantly second guessing
See,
everything that I've done, and I just hate that people hate me in that game.
so episode
Everyone's
1,
always
yeah,
hating it.
episode 1, like just kind of sets it up, you know? And then episode 2, shit just goes completely fucked. Does it not?
Yeah,
It's just
no,
like...
I felt great in episode 1. I was like, all right, this maybe 1 or 2 people hate me, but for the most part, I'm pretty good. Second episode is just like I can't win. Everything is going to hell. So I love it, but again, it's like I hate that I can't ever really make a right decision in that game because
Yep.
something's always going wrong.
This is why I love when people in chat are like, fuck Kenny. Ultimate shitlord. Just calls Kenny a shitlord.
Wow, Kenny getting no love on the KBMOD podcast. Jeez.
I'm telling you, it's like you got to pick your sides.
So let me ask you a question, and this will be half spoiler, half not, because I hope Brandon will answer it in a non-spoilery way.
course.
What did you do with Larry? Did you Did you pay the ultimate price, or did you?
Well, see, that's the thing is I'm playing it on my iPad because I can do that when I don't have an internet connection. So like I was playing on the plane, I playing on the couch, whatever. It's the same game that's on Steam, and so I think like the game had crashed or something, or I had left it and I lost my save where I had just gotten past a significant part with Larry, and I hated my decision, so I did the other one, and the same thing still happened.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's kind of what I mean. Like there was not a right choice in that situation, and I felt horrible both times. Like I played both forks of that road, and I didn't like either one of them.
Yeah, everyone who watched the stream was we were all pretty much just cheering loudly when I chose to just...
Yeah, there's definitely a more gratifying choice, but then when I realized that that kind of either way you has very big ramifications. So yeah, it's
Nice.
been good so far. I wish I could, like, I want to keep playing it. I wish I had more time right now to keep playing it and play through, because I don't want to forget all the stuff that's happened. It seems like something that for me, even though the episodes, like, you can play them separately, I kind of want to just roll through them and kind of get the whole story all at once, because it doesn't really take that long. It would maybe be 8 or 10 hours.
3 and 4 are the longest ones, and
Yeah.
if you play it, I played it on stream, so it was longer, but if you play it on
How
stream,
many hours is it all the way?
That's about 9 hours if you play it the
9?
whole way. But the last episode's super short.
Or
and
if
the
you
first one's kinda short.
agonize over every single choice you make, it's like 15 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my to play list. I still have to buy it, but I'm kind of waiting for
wait
the.
till the
I'm
Steam
playing
sale.
it on iPad as well.
Wait till the Steam sale.
Yeah.
When it's $12.50 and not $25. Like, I actually feel that it is worth $25, but
That's why I actually started playing it on the iPad, because the first episode is free, and I really liked it, and I was like, whatever. And it was only $15 for the rest of them, so
yeah.
I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad for playing on the iPad instead of my PC.
Yeah. Well,
Get wrecked.
get wrecked.
But
Things I've
I'm
never
so
heard from
fucking
Brandon.
tough. I play on my iPad.
Get wrecked.
Fuck you.
look at this state-of-the-art tablet, bitch. Boom.
Jeez. What about
Just
what about
heading
you?
off. I'm heading off.
Well, I
chat
feel like
comments.
Brandon did some other significant thing this week.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
We did that. Okay.
I just continue to play real life pretty professionally.
Yeah.
So I did
You're
that.
very proficient at that. You're playing on the hardest difficulty as well, which is impressive. So,
Yeah. I keep ratcheting up the difficulty, and we'll kind of see how that pans out over time.
I heard you prestige on Relationship Simulator
I
2015.
did. Yeah. I went ahead and prestiged. And,
Oh man.
For those who don't know, Brandon's getting married.
Yeah, Brandon
Yeah,
got
yes.
engaged.
I got engaged.
He'll join
So
Does
I'm-
Hillary get diamond camo? Or... oh, it's on her finger. She got diamond.
John's dying.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, congrats on that. That's awesome. Everyone say congrats in the chat, please, right now to Brandon, if you didn't know that.
She's got a really, really, really nice PC on her finger right now.
You tweeted the picture of it, and I was confused. I'm like, what form factor is this? I don't understand. Like, how could you fit?
See, my wife got my grandma's PC,
Those
so
congrats, Brandon.
it's like 3 tons and kind of unwieldy and just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
So I'm moving like next weekend. So lots of
Actually,
things.
yeah, you're definitely not playing on the hardest difficulty yet because you're not married yet, but you are ratcheting it up. Dan, if anyone, Dan's definitely, he's got the kids. So
I'm on
Dan's-
Hardcore
that's true.
Inferno right now.
Dan's on like his 4th prestige.
Is Dan in Master League or?
I wouldn't say I'm professional, Nick.
He hasn't
Okay.
dealt yet with. I mean, you got
You're still you're doing your like lower level league play games.
I'm just like Callow. I'm the Callow of life. Like, anyone can join it, but it ends up getting tough by the end, you know?
Zoe dating or your son rebelling against you as
Yeah.
a teenager. There's a lot of things. College tuition. There's a lot of stuff coming up.
I did get the dog DLC recently. It's pretty challenging, but overall,
Super cute though. Super
Yeah.
cute deal.
it's mostly cosmetic.
Cosmetic.
Mostly cosmetic.
Oh
game.
man. Oh, this goes. Wow, that was. All right, Nick. What have you been up to?
Dota 2, Dead Space 3, Special Forces Team X, and I finished Crisis 2 single player. And that's about it. 'Cause I wanted to get ready for Crisis 3.
Yes.
And I still have no idea what's going on. I was like, oh, shoot the aliens! Oh,
the story gets kind of lost and convoluted in
It's a
Crisis 2.
nanosuit.
I'm like, look at all these cool set pieces. What the fuck are you saying about this story? I don't understand what this means. Like, I don't know what you're throwing out science terms that are fake. I don't know what you're saying. Something about a nanosuit, a black guy before me. His name was Prophet, and then he's like kind of alive. He's kind of dead. I was like, what the hell's going on? So that happened.
That's cool. How far are you in Dead Space 3?
Yes. Yeah.
I am almost done. I probably have about an hour or two left. So
Did it
I'm
get better or
just-
worse, or?
Oh, it's kind of the same. It's yeah.
Because I've heard, like, what I heard was that, I think I said this last week, but like the first 6 to 8 hours, like basically the first half of the game is really good. Like that's what I heard. And
First,
then
like
it kind
third,
of
I'd say.
kind of drops off after that.
Yeah.
Is there? There's some people very passionate about the criticism. A couple people at work that were like, "No, there's whole portions of the game that feel very much like Dead Space 1 and 2, like in the ship, claustrophobic."
Yeah,
Better.
that's the beginning section.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
much like that. That it feels kind of like Dead Space 1. It's not as scary.
Yeah.
Probably because I'm just worn down on Necromorph scare tactics because I played like 30 hours of that.
You're like Tracy Morgan. You're hosting that shit, dude. Scare tactics doesn't scare you.
God damn it! I don't even want to be reminded that it exists.
I love, dude. Fuck you. Scare tactics.
Okay,
is
wait.
amazing.
There's one on YouTube that I watch, and it's actually pretty good. It's where like it's the babysitter. Is that the one I'm thinking of? It's the babysitter.
Yeah, there's tons of them on YouTube. If you go
I
to
like
the Scare
that. I like that one.
Go to the Scare Tactics YouTube channel. They have uploaded like not every scare, I don't like every one they've ever done, but like all the best ones. You will spend hours. You can't stop watching them once you start. It's like popcorn. Pop it in your mouth. Extra salt and butter. Tracy Morgan on that bitch. Anyway.
Tracy Morgan.
Tracy Morgan. What? I don't know
That's
who
how he
else that-
talks.
I talk like this. I park my car. Tracy Morgan. Yeah. He's
Trying
my
to get
brother.
a coffee.
Yeah, the
Cool.
second syllable becomes like, bah!
Yeah. He's just shouting. Tracy Morgan just shouts when he hosts everything. He's just yelling at you. Anyway. And interestingly enough, that show, apparently they filmed it all in Canada because everyone's fucking Canadian on the show. And they all have really fucking annoying accents. So there's that.
Just
But
fuck Canada is what.
yeah,
ABL
just in
say.
general, dude. What does Canada got, dude? They have a high crime rate. They have awful health care. Just fuck Canada. Fuck it.
I don't know anything about
They have the
Canada.
CFL, which is
They-
probably the best tennis league in the world.
Apparently, like 90% of Canada's population lives within like 30 miles of the border or something.
Yeah, that's an absurd amount.
Weird statistic.
Would you want to live near the Arctic Circle, Nick?
Yeah,
It
they
makes
all
sense.
poses. They like, oh, we gotta snuggle up with America. Yeah, get out of here. Whatever. You're bad.
We
Jesus.
gotta spoon America real close. Nope.
Wow, this is John. What have you been up to this week?
TF2, we clinched our playoff spot
Oh, nice.
for the season.
Was it close or
joined-
was it like? Did you
No,
guys? No.
yeah, we won like 5-1. We played two good teams this week and beat them both pretty badly.
Nice.
So we're 9-1 since I joined the team. The one game we lost was bullshit. ESEA client is terrible. And I actually reactivated my WoW account for boredom to play with some of my TF2 guys, and I'm tanking as a druid, Dan, so it's a good time.
Oh, nice.
I've only played about an hour
Hit
since
that
I've
one button.
reactivated my account, so I'm
I was gonna
actually
say,
not playing it.
I saw like a suspicious charge on the account, and I was like, really? Really? Are you really
Keep
doing this?
Yeah.
And I've played about an hour so far since I've reactivated. It's been well worth the $60 I spent to server and faction transfer and $15 a month to pay for the account. It's been good.
Question from chat: where can we watch ESEA games? I don't know that they stream them. Barney.
Twitch.tv/ESEA or Twitch.tv/Team Fortress TV.
Well, there you go.
ESEA's main channel has the match of the week every Thursday, and Team Fortress TV is usually live like 4 days a week.
But competitive TF2 is nuts if you haven't seen it. It is not the same style if you're looking for like pro mod or Counter-Strike type pro stuff. It's not the same style at all, but it's still just as impressive, especially because anyone can play TF2. And when you see those guys play TF2, it's like This is why I play medic and heal John when I play. Because I can't do anything else.
We actually started using like pocket scouts. Like when we Uber into Last Stand, we Uber in our scouts instead of the soldier or the demo. It's kind of interesting.
Wow.
Just want
works.
to hear a commentator say John's fat cock.
That's true.
I don't know if he uses
I play as Nigel Peppercock because Scott gave me the best name ever.
Oh yeah,
which is a
forgot
real
about that.
band we found out.
We're the Peppercock family, Scott. We have like Nigel, Reginald,
Reginald.
Jarvin.
Jarvin
Elizabeth.
Peppercock.
Jarvin
Yeah.
Peppercock.
Yeah, dude, we're a very
A
we're a
lot
rich
of
family,
Peppercocks.
very rich. Peppercocks, yeah.
The Peppercocks looking to penetrate the enemy stronghold.
Using their namesake to their advantage. All right. Well, I guess I'll go real quick, and then you can go down if we're going by order. Well, why aren't you in the? You're off over to the side here. Is this just?
I
just the new-
am
not.
because Skype is awesome.
Okay.
And won't
Yeah,
let me use
say
a
no more.
webcam in 2 places, so
Yep.
I have to choose
sense.
one.
Skype
But
forces
it's
you to
okay
choose.
since I'm like quote unquote hosting things, so it's like
That's true.
it's all right.
All right, cool. What have I? So I've been playing. I got back into BLR this week, pretty hard. I played a lot of BLR. God, that game is
Big
so
update
fucking good.
Coming? Did it come already?
Yes.
No, it's not out already. I
No,
don't think.
no, not yet.
Okay.
Soon though.
New maps. Yes.
Yeah, maps. I mean, I would pretty much. I don't care what anyone says. I would play Helo. I pretty much find Helo deck 24/7 servers and just fucking God. I love the pace of it. The tactical SMG, bros. If you haven't, I'm like super late on
Chaz
that.
was saying that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's so good. Been playing a lot of that. What else? Playing League, obviously. Also, still playing Sniper Elite, and they also
Even
announced.
Sark, like Beyond Videos, are like into that game.
Dude,
it's like
so
kind of
into it.
strange to me. Like it's not a
Dude,
bad
it's
game.
nothing- Have you
but-
tried the co-op? Have you played the co-op?
No, Nick and I have been supposed to for a while, and then
We've
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
planning this for like
we'll just
4
do the
months.
zombie when it comes out.
I pre-ordered that shit.
Zombie looks awesome.
Yeah,
the
like,
zombie
it's
mode.
4-player co-op, Scott.
Yeah,
You
it's
know
gonna
what
be
you
epic.
need to do.
But no, try the co-op in Sniper Elite. To me, like the single player, it's whatever. Like I mean, they're cool set pieces they set you up in. So it's not very deep though. But the co-op is I think it's one of the best co-op experiences in the last, I'm gonna say 10 years, which is quite a fucking statement.
Really?
But it's so fun. Yeah, the way the stuff they set you up with, and you have to work with your teammate, and I don't know, it's really fun. What else besides that? Still played a little bit. Been playing the Crysis 3 beta still. I'm still enjoying that, and I think that's about it for me. What about you, Dan? What you doing?
Well, this week I've been.
Isaac.
What?
Isaac.
Yes, I
Yeah.
did play Isaac this week. I
Fucking
did beat
pretty.
Isaac again, which is actually really fucking hard. I beat Isaac on stream this morning.
What is this? 3 times now or 4 times?
That's 3 Isaac kills, but I beat him with Dr. Fetus today. For those that don't know about Team Meat, the guys who, Edmund made Binding of Isaac. They also made Super Meat Boy. If you haven't played Super Meat Boy, the villain is Dr. Fetus, and it's also a power-up in Isaac, and it can be it can be argued whether the item is actually a power-up or not. It turns your tears into bombs instead, and you can only have one out at a time.
Wow,
So,
Mike
like-
Polak really benefit from that, but yeah.
So it's like, I did beat the game with Dr. Fetus, but it was the first time I'd ever really used it, and I don't know, it's weird. It's just weird having one bullet, and then it's stationary when it lands, so it's like, I don't know, you have to really think about where you're shooting and whether you want to do it or not. But I beat the game in that, and so I'm 3 more kills from like getting the Polaroid, which is a really, really good item, and 3 more kills essentially beats the game, quote unquote. I haven't done all the challenges at all. I will give Nikon Punch credit. That guy has done every challenge, which are very difficult in that game. It just sets you up with a certain like amount of items or no items, or you can't see the map for the level ever. Different things like that. But Nikon has beat all the challenges. He's very close to Platinum God, which is the like ultimate kind of, you've beat everything in the game. I'm pretty far from that, but yeah, so I did that this week. I also played one of the most rage-inducing games of all time, Ys Origins. It's YS Origins. You may have seen it on Steam sales. It's a Japanese RPG, but it's like the combat is like kind of like isometric, kind of like Diablo, but not really. It's hard to explain. It's more of a side kind of view, side and up. But there's no health power-ups, there's no potions, there's no nothing. And the bosses are all like 75 phase bosses that you have to like, and if you die, you just start over at the boss. So I got to the second boss in about 2 hours and did it 7 or 8 times, and seriously was just about to just rip my controller out of the PC and just.
So was it hard because of game, like it's intentionally like that, or was it game mechanics?
It's just what? That the bosses have phases and you have to learn each phase.
Right.
And it's not like Isaac where bosses sometimes have phases and it's maybe 2. You know, it's like 2 mechanics. It's like, oh, I avoid these things. There it's like 7 phases, and there's
they can all wipe you.
Yeah, and there's no health power up during the fight. You just deal with what you have. So there's no healing up. There's no, none of that. And I did it 7 or 8 times, and it was like midnight, and I was just like, I'm either A, too tired of this, or just fucking done. Like, I'm just like, I'm not going to do this anymore. I was just frustrated. And but the East games are really good if you like that style of game. And you can play it on easy or very easy, which I'm not doing right now. I should have started on those, but I don't want to replay the first 2 hours now. So I'm just going to kind of do it and try to get through it. But the new ones just got ported over to Steam, Ys 1 and 2. They're games from like 2000 or something. They were on like PS2, but only in Japan. But they're very fun. It's just... the first boss took me 7 attempts to learn. The first boss.
Yeah.
In the game?
Yeah.
Jesus.
So once I learned it, then I was like able to beat him pretty easily. But you gotta have lots of patience. And the first boss was fun to do that. The second boss, I was just like, fuck this game. I'm out. Alt F4, done. But played a lot of that. I played some COD 4 this week. A good amount of COD 4.
Oh, now there you go. There's the Daniel I recall.
Just went back into COD 4 because there were some nights where I was just like in the mindset where I don't want a game right now. But then I was like, I'll just go shit on some people in COD 4. There's still so many live servers on that game. It's crazy. Pro mod's kind of dead, but if you just want to poop on people in vanilla and have some fun and fuck around, there isn't a better shooter, in my opinion, to just go in and have some fun and then close it. Like,
I'd disagree and say the TF2 is less frustrating, but COD is more fun in a pub environment.
Yeah.
COD you can still get very frustrated, and not necessarily because you're losing, but because you can't fucking call in your helicopter. And that is the most frustrating shit ever.
That's true.
So fucking annoying.
There was a game, I was like 33-2 or something, and I had gone through what would have been like 2 helicopters or 3 helicopters. Never was able to call it in during the game.
Yeah.
I finished like 50-6 in the game and just never got to call it in.
Yeah, and you would have been 107.
Yeah, if I had gotten a heli out.
It's bullshit.
Bullshit. But it's I don't know. I can just go back to that game whenever I'm just like, I don't feel like gaming. The COD 4 is there.
I forgot I've been playing a little bit of PoE.
Oh yes, god damn, you jogged my memory there. Played probably I played a lot of that this week and just completely slipped my mind. Joe and I did a 4-hour stream of it on the KBMOD channel. We beat all of Act 2 in Path of Exile on Tuesday. Did not want to stop streaming, but essentially had to go to bed. It's just like, I need to go to bed so I can be alive for work. But otherwise, we will keep going. We will keep going. I did get to Act 3, which is brand new in the open beta. So, oh, come on, Bob. Lavinus Bob shitting on us for being in softcore. We had characters.
You gotta learn the game in softcore first.
We had characters in softcore that were the same level, so we had to. All of Joe's hardcore characters are like level 40, so they're all way ahead of me. But game is really fucking good, and it's free, so go get it. It's really good.
Nice.
So if you were into D3 and that dropped off, or if you were into Diablo 2 more, just go get Path of Exile. It'll be what you need.
It's deeper than Diablo was.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just as gritty and dark, and like the graphics though in this open beta edition have just been so much better.
We talked about it
really
last week a
better.
little bit, but they've
Yeah.
just overhauled like textures and
I
everything.
mean-
Because I remember it looking like my dick.
It looked kind of
back-
shitty in closed beta.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just flat out. Yeah, it
That's
just
what I think
flat
about
out
dick,
was
by the
terrible.
way. If you
Your
didn't,
dick has instances and
Yeah.
like people run,
Yeah, it's pretty-
small
it's pretty
people running
advanced.
around on it.
Scott's Dick is an MMO in town, but it's just a party thing. In
I'm
private.
assuming that's why it's not all the rage with the women, because it's a fucking, it's a complicated dick. It's not a COD 4 kind of dick where you can just jump on it right away. It's got more complexities to it. So
It is just way too fucking deep though, that game. And like
That's a really good point, Flanlord says.
Yeah.
It's about testing the character, not the player. That is very true. Like, the only way to succeed in Path of Exile is to build your character correctly. And anybody can do it.
that was really the same thing in Diablo 2, which is what I like. Like, if you built a Hammer Paladin right in Diablo 2, you were essentially invincible for the rest of the game. But it was just a matter of doing it right and getting the right gear. And Path of Exile is the same way. If you make your character correctly, which you won't know until you've done it a few times, and you're like, oh shit, I'm way down this tree, and this is fucking terrible. Like, I do no damage at this point. Oh no. That can happen. But you won't know because there's 1,300 passive skills in that tree. So, there's a lot of ways to go. But, yeah, it's really good. And it has me pretty much hooked again. If I had been actually at home the last couple nights, that's all I would have done. Was played Path of Exile.
Another highlight of my week, I got to drink Pliny the Younger.
You dick.
I did get to drink the Pliny the Younger, and it was a life-changing experience.
For those of you who don't know, we talk about craft beer a decent amount on Twitter, and Pliny the Younger is the #1 rated beer in the world by Beer Advocate, and John got to go drink it. He's an asshole.
It's 10:30 in the morning with a bunch of people from work. I felt awful the rest of the day.
It's
Sitting
a
in
heavy
the
beer.
office, I was just like, good
what's the
Lord.
percent of alcohol in it?
It's
Is it
10
like?
or
11?
11? Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's a double
Well, that-
IPA.
Triple IPA.
Triple IPA? The Elder
Yes.
is a double then.
Yes, the Elder Stubble.
So,
Jeez.
there you go.
Very nice. I did forget to mention that I did get a very, very awesome YouTube message from the lovely Francesca Sali, who I'm going to post the link of that in the chat right now, who let me know that the multiplayer beta invite is out for me for Orion Dino Horde.
Yes, okay,
which
we
is,
have to talk about this.
Which is the Horde mode, so I'm going to real quick let everyone take a gander
So
at
we
that.
got an email. We did get an email for this from the to the KBMOD account, essentially saying if you own the old game, you get this game free.
Yeah.
They're touting it as a totally new game. It's just gonna be broken and shitty again. It's just like it's just look at the press release is just the most hysterical.
Dude,
Yeah.
the fact that they're sending YouTube messages to random YouTubers as ways like, hey, it's in who's
Your channel's
Francesca?
last video was a fucking based god parody. Let's send you this.
Yeah, exactly. Right up the alley. I just don't. Yeah, man, it's funny. I mean, it's going to be the same thing, same broken engine. It looks exactly the same. There were like screenshots.
Oh god, dude in chat with a good point. What is Orion Dino Horde? It's just like typos all over and shit. Oh my god. But yeah, no,
God.
this is a good point. Is Orion Dino Beatdown not already Horde mode? Yes. Yes, it is. It is already Horde mode.
I appreciate Francesca reaching out, but I don't think I'm going to be playing it.
That is my one regret with KB Mod so far. Like
Being
as a
excited
whole.
for that game.
Being
Hey.
excited for that game and then influencing other people to buy that game.
That's good. Let's have a real quick talk, because everyone that's ever covered video games, everyone makes mistakes. I mean, we don't make them often. That's our
biggest
the
one,
surface,
far and
the
away.
concept seemed awesome, right? The
Yeah,
concept.
no, how could you go wrong, dude? Dinosaurs, space, Halo,
Jetpacks, guns.
jetpacks, guns.
Right.
Come on.
It sounds great. But I think next time, I think we'll probably be a little bit more careful.
We also
I'm not
joined the
apologizing.
initial game that we played with the dev with me with the Steam name Butthole Destroyer.
No, butt demolition. It was
Oh,
butt demolition.
yes.
I remember that specifically because I was thinking, and I brought it up. I'm like, this is a dev, and your name is Butt Demolition. Do you think we can change anything? And nothing changed, and it just that was it.
Should have been our first clue. Yeah. Well,
So
you know what? Yeah.
I think
I don't think we owe anyone an apology. We were just excited and we were let down, and that's what happens.
And I think we steered you right with things like Blacklight. You know,
Oh, yeah.
We've done you a service with games like that. And Path of Exile, I promise you, it's fucking good.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I want to bring up one last thing before we're done with what we're playing, because this did not need to be in news. Oh man, guys! So we're starting to do these launch streams since we've gotten subscribers, we've got a little extra skrill. We're gonna try to do Tuesday launch streams. I did say skrill.
We just lost like 10 subscribers from.
Yeah,
from
just
that.
the scubs are like. So Tuesday, instead of Path of Exile, which was an awesome stream, by the way, I did say this on Twitter. I think it's the best stream I've ever done. Was Tuesday. It was awesome.
Yeah, I disagree. Sweet.
Wow, dude! Thanks so much.
I didn't watch it. You're mad, tricked. Yeah.
Rused. Oh my god.
See you, nerd.
But we were gonna get Aliens Colonial Marines because I was like, this looks legit at PAX because it did. The demo was fucking sweet.
That's because the demo is different from the actual version.
So I wake up, right?
Video about it.
I
It was
wake up
great.
Tuesday morning. I go to work. I haven't spent any money on it yet. I start reading reviews. As they come in. I'm just like, dear God, what happened? What has happened to this game? And fucking, it's got a 43 on Metacritic or something like that right now overall. Like from reviewers, not from people, from reviewers. The graphics look like they're from an original Xbox title, not an Xbox 360 title. Original Xbox. It is.
Yeah, it's God, it's bad. It's also it's funny because there's like I talked to Sark about it actually. We talked about it this week on the radio show, but it was like he's such a fan of the Alien universe and everything. So
many
for him, it's like
are. That's like
yeah, and so he gives it a lot more of a pass even than other people because it's like I just like running around in that environment. But it is super because I'm like, well, I'm not necessarily a diehard of that series necessarily or that world. So when I go and play it, like you said, it looks like an Xbox game with everything maxed out pretty much.
The computer
even on
screens
PC.
were the funniest shit. So I was watching streams during the day when I could at work, like GameSpy had a stream, Destructoid had a stream, like all these big publications, and the whole time they were playing the game. They had a second dude with them being like, yeah, I reviewed this. Holy shit. It is so bad. And like pointing out everything as they went on. What I didn't get, right? So I left a stream on at work. Not like watching it all the time, but like I would tab back in. 2 hours, I didn't see one alien. They were just fighting other humans.
I mean, that's what the Aliens franchise is about. It's about fighting each other, right?
They were fighting other humans the whole time.
There's some at the beginning for a little bit, and then you start fighting another Marine. Yeah, it's God,
like,
it's so bad.
If you want to do an Alien game correctly, it needs to have that dread that you feel in the movie Aliens of them going into this place, and you as the viewer know that there's some fucking aliens in there.
Well, I feel bad for Gearbox because this is the second time. Like, it's such a specific scenario that has to play out because they finished off Duke Nukem forever.
Yeah, it's the same. They
took the very end, the last sequence of that game, and they finished off and released it and everything. And that game was awful. And then they did this one, which was in development.
There's
for
some
6
good.
years.
There's like a Reddit AMA I think with one of the dudes who was on the dev team talking about how. There's just so much. I mean, it's not as simple as like one thing that went wrong.
6 or 7 years though of dev time.
It's 6 years.
Yeah, but it changed studios and it jumped around, and then they farmed out. Like the single player went to a different studio. It just became just a mess. And when they, I don't know all the details, but I did hear that like there were supposed to be all these boss battles that all like basically Gearbox took a look at what the studio that they had farmed out the single player to. And they were like, "This is a fucking nightmare. Like, we can't. This is awful." So they just tried to fix as much as they could, but it ended up just being like so that they could ship it by that date. But it was there you go. It's just they didn't have enough time. Basically, they were like, "It's just gonna have to go out." It's a nightmare, man. It's rough. So I mean, that's no excuse. That's just. But you're right. It's unfortunate. That's the second. That's the second big title.
Yeah,
like that.
It's like when they do Borderlands Gearbox. It's like fucking amazing. But then when they do everything else, it's just shit. But it's just like watching those streams, I was just like, how was someone at their like studio playing through this game and being like, this is a good Aliens title.
Yeah.
Like developing this, like it's just like There are no xenomorphs. And then, I don't know if you guys have seen, someone played through the whole fucking game passively because the AI on all the bad guys is so poor
Dude.
that they won't react to
Yeah.
you running past. So this
So
guy
bad.
ran through the whole game. He beat it in like an hour and a half. And the single player is only like 4 hours, by the way. Are there any good Alien titles? This is a question I was asked a lot this week. Yes.
The last AVP game was not horrible. It
Dude,
was all
even-
right.
The original
That game is-
AVP was a
Yeah.
fantastic
Yeah.
game.
Yes,
game-
it was unfair to humans and imbalanced. It doesn't matter. It was fun.
Yeah. This game makes that game look like a fucking 10 to 10 masterpiece, man. And then that is a pretty good game. It's, yeah, it's funny. I'm glad you brought that up. 'Cause
My favorite video, I watched it earlier this week. I haven't played the game, but I watched a video and it was footage from the demo they were showing off at like conventions and stuff. And then it was footage of the same sequences in the released game, and the demo has dynamic lighting, and the actual game has no dynamic lighting. It's incredible. Like it's just gone. Like they took it out. It's the best.
Well, it was like they showed alien parts, and as I was saying earlier in this, when you watch Aliens, this was supposed to be the game of Aliens, the second Alien movie.
Second movie.
When they go into that base on V264, or whatever the planet's name is, you get this whole feeling, because you know as a viewer that somewhere in there there are aliens. And so the whole point of it is these Marines, these well-armed, well-trained Marines, are going into this place, and then they're getting stalked by these aliens. You don't really get that feeling when you're trying to figure out sentry gun puzzles and killing human Marines for no fucking reason throughout the whole front of the game. And then when you do find a xenomorph, you shoot him and he backs off so you can kill him. That is literally what they do when you shoot them, the aliens. You shoot them, they back away so you can shoot them again.
I said it last week, but all I want for an Aliens game is there to be like 10 aliens the entire game. That's all I want. I want it to be really, I want it to be really, really scary because that's
Make it
what the movies
Amnesia,
are like.
but with aliens.
Yeah.
Totally.
I want it to be scary. I don't want it to be like, oh, I put a clip into this alien and it's dead. Oh.
Yep. So, and it was so funny because, like, as I was watching those streams that I was talking about, where it was just one dude just shitting on the game while the other guy played it, I was like, part of me was like, at first I was like, we're not buying this at all. We're not buying this as streaming. This is horrible. And then I was like, maybe we should stream this.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Sark and I played for like an hour, and we're like, we're gonna finish this whole game because it can be fun with a friend
too.
I was
so
watching
short.
like big media outlets like GameSpot and Destructoid, and all they did the entire time was talk about how shitty it was.
That's what you know. Because they
and if they're
pulling,
saying it's bad.
Yeah.
So, there you go with Aliens Colonial Marines, and that is why we didn't get it. I wasn't going to waste your money or your time on that game. Like, I've never seen a game that just, not even Duke Nukem Forever was that just, because with that game you were like, this had 10 years of like 6 different studios, and it was obviously there was turmoil.
6 years isn't that far off either for what you got.
But Aliens Colonial Marines, but the thing was, Duke Nukem didn't have a misleading demo. Like, people played the game. With this game, I played this game at PAX, and it was pretty good. And then,
how often do you see a demo that's like tangibly better than the final product?
Yeah, it
doesn't happen very often.
Crazy how bad it is. Like, PC Gamer gave it a 47, I think, just because it ran. They were like, this runs, so we're going to give it a... So, all right, guys.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick 90-second commercial break here, because we went kind of long there. It was a good
Holy
discussion.
shit, we did.
And we'll be back after that. Yeah, dude, it was like watching a train wreck. I couldn't stop watching those streams, though, that day. I was just like, this is amazing. The computer screens were the best graphics. If you guys
want to get mad,
going around is awesome. The alien that walks past.
Yeah.
And he's just walking like a little dinosaur.
That's a sequence in the game. Like,
I know. It's just, you can't even believe it.
The video that will make you mad is it's a GameSpot interview with Randy Pitchford, and it's like a 10-minute video of him throwing out every marketing word ever. It's like, look how great this fucking game is, guys. We have to be really, really careful with this franchise. It's really dear to a lot of people's hearts, so we're handling it with care. And then
it is amazing how badly that franchise has failed in the gaming world, though.
Yeah,
it's just successfully unsuccessful.
So, but I don't know. I'm really glad I didn't get it. The KBMOD Steam account would have been tainted with this game. But,
Oh my god, that's so epic, that fucking GIF. I hadn't seen that.
But Nick,
Put that in the chat for people if you...
Nick already bought Crisis 3, so he's going to stream that for us. But I had fun with it. I don't know. But of course no one's playing Down to Beatdown. Guy in the chat who plays Down to Beatdown.
He just loaded it up and he's shocked. Anaconda's shocked. No one playing it.
Nobody on this game.
Oh, jeez.
Next game night, Dino Beatdown. I don't know.
We
You're
should do
tempting
that.
Me.
We
You're
should do that.
fucking
We'll,
tempting me, Mr. Madden.
they'll wonder what's happening. They'll be like, "Whoa, our server load's gone up. What's this?"
It's skyrocketing.
Oh, man.
Oh man, feels so bad.
They're blowing
Not
dust
really.
off the servers.
Like a cartridge. in
Yeah,
an
like
old
Nintendo cartridges.
Grabbing the canned air real quick.
Yep. All right. Man,
All
we have a
right,
lot
guys.
of news to get through, too. Holy
Yes.
shit.
Well, it's not a lot of news. It's
No,
a
not a
lot
lot,
of
but
articles on specific
deep news.
things.
Yeah.
So, this one came out of left field, but we're going to start the news with tonight. At least to me. I mean, maybe some insider had fucking info or something. But Valve laid off basically their entire hardware/Android/Steambox R&D team as far as hardware for the Steambox and controllers. Because we know from the interviews with The Verge a couple weeks ago at CES, or not a couple weeks ago, I guess a month and a half ago now at CES, but that they were looking into different controller layouts because they didn't like anything that's out there due to latency. Well, I guess they didn't like what anyone at Valve was doing either, because they
not a
they
fan.
pieced them all out. It's about 25 people, that's correct, that got laid off. And there was so much, not even backlash, but more... It
Shock.
wasn't even backlash. Yeah, shock.
I'm gonna play super. It's gonna sound super insensitive, but I'm
Okay.
gonna play devil's advocate here and say that this is a good thing. Not that people lost their jobs or anything like that, because that always sucks. But Valve has this like mystic, which is cool. Like Valve has this kind of like the untouchable, the company without really, you don't really have a boss. You just shuffle around projects. There's no real hierarchy in the company, obviously.
And the
obviously
firing
that's
is
true.
done by committee as well, for those that don't
Right.
know.
Exactly, but it is good to see. Not good to see, but I think it's a kind of reality check that, like, yeah, Valve is amazing still, but they're just a company like every other company, and you have to make hard decisions about stuff, and we don't know what direction. I think that's part of the speculation is, like, what are they doing? All projects are still on, says Gabe, and all that kind of stuff. But it is kind of, it's just kind of a reality check. Like,
Yeah.
there is no fucking fairy tale Adventureland company. I mean, every company has to go through tough shit. So I just think it's kind of... It's a reality check a little bit for the industry in general.
The best part is that in this article, it's not even phrased as layoffs. It's Valve, so it's phrased as great cleansing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that. That was a really irresponsible fucking
Yeah,
headline.
Verge.
It's like
You're usually on
biblical-
point.
Apparently that's what
Biblical
Valve
layoffs.
employees are describing it as, but yeah, that's an odd way to characterize it
You almost
in
feel
your
like-
in your headline.
You
That's
almost
that's
feel
kind
like
of clickbait.
there was a faction, because, as I said, firing is done by committee. But you almost feel like the bigger group here was like that hardware R&D division guys and those Android guys, they aren't getting anything done. Like, that's how I feel like the discussion went. Like, people whispered to other people, and they were like, that's not where we want this to go.
Right.
And then it eventually was just like came to a head, kind of. And I mean, obviously, it's all this is all speculation. I mean, nobody knows. They're so secretive that I doubt we will ever. Even the people who got fired were just like, I got fired. That's all they said. They
Well, the thing is, it's kind of surprising because Valve is so successful that you wouldn't think they need to lay off people, and given like what they say in their employee handbook about how the most important thing you'll ever do at this company is participate in hiring people and like determining who's going to join the company, but that almost makes it like less surprising to me as well, because they are, I think, such a forward-looking company that maybe whatever these people were working on or whatever progress they had shown thus far, I feel like a lot of people at Valve are smart enough to say, we thought there might be a future in this or money in this, but now we don't. And so instead of like end up releasing a bad product or get so far down the line that we're really bought into something. They're just saying, we tried it, we don't really like what we see now, and we need to cut the people involved so that we can keep a lean staff and keep making money. Because like Scott said, I mean, they're still a business, and that's a pretty pragmatic decision. And the thing too is that pretty much anyone that works at Valve, I'm pretty sure, can sign their own ticket to wherever else they want to go.
Oh yeah, so that's true too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's not like, and it is cool to have a company like Valve out there still. It doesn't change any of really their status. I just think it is kind of not necessarily what we could call it Valve or the industry, but more to the kind of fanboyism that is around Valve, me included in that as well. Definitely. Like, it's kind of just, it's like a mythical almost. Valve's up in that on their hill in Seattle. And it's like, it's just it's a paradise. And it's like, well, no. And like you said, though, this is another example, I think you're right, Brandon, of them being pragmatic and being like, we're not going to go a direction for the sake of going a direction just to save people's jobs. If it's not going to work, it's not going to work. And someone, the other Miles raised a good point in chat where he talked about how Gabe in a lecture from a week ago was talking about the complacency at Valve and stuff and Steam in a kind of a negative light, and that he's trying to, maybe they're trying to fix that.
It wouldn't
maybe they
surprise me at all if because not everyone that was let go was like in a specific division. There were at least one or two or three people that were from different areas of the company. It wouldn't surprise me if this was kind of a long time coming type thing. Like there was a lot of evidence or whatever that maybe some discontent was growing around some of these people, and instead of letting people go one by one, like we said, Gabe is saying, you don't want to get complacent. All right, well, you have a layoff. That kind of gets news. It kind of gets everyone's attention inside and outside the company, and helps people remember that, hey, we can't just sit around and continue making the kind of money we make now. We have to keep innovating. Keep an eye on what our core competency is, and keep putting out good products and stuff.
But yeah, I don't see this negatively affecting Valve in the future. I agree with you, Scott, that it's just kind of like, oh, this company is human. Like, shit happens. Yep. Even at Valve. Because, I mean, it was shocking to me, too. I actually was like, wow, that's... Especially the timing was what was crazy.
It is still kind of out of left field. Like, it wasn't... It's kind of like you would expect it more on, like, Valve talking about how there's a downturn in one of their fucking products, or... You know what I mean? It was just off the heels of all this innovation stuff.
They haven't had a product in a few years.
Well, that's true. That's true too. I guess Steam is a fucking always a ongoing product.
Also, it was brought up in chat as well is that the dude who was the lead dev on Steam itself left, or was fired. So that's kind of weird. But frankly, Steam could be better. It's not like that's kind of crazy. It takes me about 15 clicks just to put the announcement out for shit. On the KBMOD group, so it could be a little better. But it is, I mean, it is a bit humbling. I think the timing is kind of crazy with all the first CES with the Steambox stuff, then Gabe with that lecture at University of Texas, and then like Valve is like all of a sudden forefront in the news with all this stuff, and
the keynote thing with Gabe and JJ Abrams,
right? That's what I was about to say. Yeah,
it's like it seems like Valve is going on all these these new directions and really looking at a lot of new projects, and then cutting your staff back by. I mean, how many people did work there? It's like 300, isn't it?
I think someone said it was like 10% of the staff.
Yeah, I mean that's the more surprising thing to me is that it seems like a pretty large cut for what is already a pretty small organization for the amount of revenue that they do.
So, but yeah, it was a little strange, a little humbling. We'll have to see how it affects Steambox launch and or a controller for the Steambox, which was kind of the big deal, was the lead dev on that stuff. Jerry Ellsworth, I think was her name, but she was kind of leading up that the controller, so we'll see how that sets it back, and how far along Steambox stuff is after this. But up next, Tribes Ascend, a game that we absolutely loved last year, and a lot of us played the shit out of, especially Brandon.
Yep.
Has done something that I'm not necessarily think it's a bad thing, but I think it's a strange thing to do. Other free-to-play games have this option, just not in this way, I feel. But they have done a Game of the Year update. Mm-hmm. And basically what you can do now is spend $30, about the middling price of, a AAA shooter on sale, or, a lower tier, quote unquote lower tier shooter, and you unlock everything. So I'm not saying it does anything. I'm saying it's just a strange thing to do. And to me, it felt like just resigning Tribes.
That's exactly what I read. Yeah,
to a
that's what I
backseat
felt like
that we
too.
already felt was there anyway.
Yeah,
But
like that's a good.
go ahead.
It's kind of
Brandon.
like,
Did you-
does this unlock everything just that's been released?
everything
up
up
until
to
this
that
point?
Yes.
Not after. Okay, well, that's probably
Which
what
is
we'll be
everything
doing
in
after.
the game. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's like Dan said. I feel almost the exact same way. It's not that I think it's a bad thing. I think it from high res perspective, it's a good thing, because it can only, it's more press, it's more people maybe coming and playing the game. I'm sure it'll probably help boost the numbers a little bit, but it's kind of an odd thing to do, given that the thing that surprised me the most is the price point. $30 when, if you've played Tribes
Well, let me
for any
let me
extended
cut
period
in
of time.
real quick. Todd
yeah.
Harris put that post on the forums before we knew what the price actually was, and they said it would be quote unquote like competitive with modern shooters or something like that. So I was like, maybe this will be a $60 pack, and I was actually like, okay, all right.
I mean, it's a multiplayer only game though. All of the
Yeah.
$60, $50 games also have a single player, even though you don't care about it. So
Yeah,
that is
that's
a
true.
competitive price, I think.
I mean, I think $30 probably is the right price, but it's kind of an odd balance with the free to play system, because if you wanted to, for the entire time Tribes has existed, the free to play grind has been really long, or if you paid for things, it cost you far more than $30 to
Yeah.
get everything. So I
Thanks,
think
Bart.
it's kind of a weird. I don't know, it's kind of a weird amalgamation. You have these older players that I think are going to feel slighted, because it's like it's pretty clearly a money grab. Like I said, I don't think it's a bad thing, but you have people that are not going to be too happy about it, because they've invested, some people like $150 to get all of those items, and now people can get it for 30. I don't know that. It seems like kind of a weird thing to still have the free-to-play system, because the free-to-play system, like, buying currency doesn't make sense anymore. There's no reason
Right.
to buy like $10 or $15 of
No.
currency when that gets you like literally maybe a few guns. The $30 thing is attractive, but now you have this weird like currency that doesn't really serve much purpose anymore, and you still the game of the year doesn't include like cosmetic stuff and voice packs.
Okay.
So it's like I feel like they're kind of trying to have their cake and eat it too, when, if I'm being honest, I'd rather just see them turn it into a $30 game and like allow mapping and mod tools and really give the game to the community, because I feel like this is kind of a half first step to that. But I think for the game to stay alive and thrive for longer than a few more months, you need to give it to the community so that they can do what they wanted since the game launched, which is mod it, create your own maps, and all the stuff that Tribes has been known for years.
Yeah, and then this is a good point. Wasn't the initial pack for Tribes Ascend $30?
Yeah.
$29.99. Yes.
And then that
Yeah.
got you in like early access, and you got some gold and some other shit. To me, someone in chat did say, I hate to keep referencing chat, but we almost have to. People are active, so. But someone who plays a lot of Tribes, I believe is Daft Passion, said the numbers went up significantly when this was released. And I can see that happening, definitely. But to me, what this feels like is what we've been saying for a long time, or at least I've been saying, is that Smite is the focus. Here is
Yeah.
Tribes. Buy it for $30. You get everything. You don't need to play it all the time. We just want some cash at this point. That's what it feels like to me. Is like, we don't care if you spend the microtransactions anymore. This game
Yeah,
is
I think they're
essentially
trying
in the
to
back
get whatever they can out of it, and they realize that there are probably going to be people that maybe they put a little bit of money into the game or played it free, and now that they can get everything for $30, they're counting on some people to throw $30 in because they remember it being fun when they played for free, and that's a pretty compelling price. But it seems like kind of a tacit admission that Tribes is kind of on the back burner, and I guess this is like an experiment to see can we up the player base enough to continue supporting the game, or is this is the first content patch, like serious content patch they've had in a while, because it did add 6 maps, it added a new alternate weapon. Like this is a pretty big patch, and the stuff that back a year ago we were used to this kind of patch every month.
Yeah. But I don't know, to me it just feels like the culmination of that. To me it's just like finally they were just like, you know what? We're putting all of it behind Smite at this point. And
Well, I mean, it is a cash grab. They're a company trying to make money.
it's a MOBA, yeah, well why wouldn't they? I don't fault them. I'm just saying, like,
it's fine.
if you're depending on tribes to get growing and
Yeah.
like it's
I would just rather see them make it a $30 game and say, I don't know what you really say to kind of calm people who have already paid a lot of money into the game.
And that's
but
real
I think
shitty.
I think you need to turn it into, maybe you keep it as free to play, but free players only get a few guns or whatever, but you just turn it into a $30 game and give it the things that we're used to having with just a game that you pay once for. Give us mapping tools, give us mod tools, allow the community to kind of take it over.
Sell an
that's how you
SDK kit or something. Like sell the SDK kit for $15. I'd buy that.
Take to this game so fast. It's unreal, dude. It can't be that hard. So
I think they end up with a better game, and a game that has a longer lifespan if they can kind of accept that the free to play isn't going to be sustainable to keep adding content like they wanted to. So make it a $30 game and kind of give it to the community, and let the community keep it going for you.
So hopefully that's what kept the old tribes growing, and
people
kept
still
it
playing
alive.
it today.
Yeah, people still playing it now.
Mods.
I just don't get devs. Just give us mod tools. If you're putting out a shooter on PC, just give us mod tools. Your game will live forever. Look at Killing Floor. Kill me in copies. Those guys don't give a shit. Just like, here's some more new shit. Like Tripwire. Amen. So, moving on to what is probably the biggest news story, and we could be accused of this being just a console-only story, but it is important, and there's also some craziness surrounding this. Destiny has been announced, the new Bungie / Activision title.
Yes, he is.
Where do we start, man? It's going to be an MMO, sort of. We know that. They're throwing all this shit. We didn't get much. We frankly didn't get much.
It's super vague.
It's a shared world shooter.
Yeah, what does that
Don't you
mean,
get
guys? Like, what the hell does that mean? I don't even know.
We're living in a shared world right now. I'm sharing the world with like 7 billion people. What the fuck does that actually mean?
What I'm saying is, what it made me think of, honestly, was the way PoE works. Which was that there's town, and town is shared with everyone, and then everything else is instanced. That's what this sounded like to me.
That's the same as Guild Wars 1.
Yeah, like
yeah,
Guild
but
Wars
I don't
1,
think
exactly
you're going
like
to be
Guild Wars
sharing it with everyone. I think you're going to be sharing it with like certain, like a limited amount of people, if I had to guess, because it's not a full MMO.
I mean, there's classes. In fact, one is called the Warlock, one is called the Hunter.
Wow, those are really unique names.
I wonder if the Warlock will be overpowered for the first 4 years of Destiny.
Fucking dots. That's all we'll hear for the first. No.
Death Coil. Fuck you. Fuck you.
I have no way to break this. All right, we're getting flashbacks. It's not good.
Yeah. I mean, my initial reaction is that this is super jaded, but it just doesn't really excite me much. I mean, there's some cool looking things, but it's just like it's what all the articles said that I'm gonna say. It's just all this hype without really any substance yet. So
yeah, it seems like such over-promising. Like they're promising to change the way shooters are viewed. And it's like, how can you even call it an MMO when you're talking about it being a console shooter?
To be fair, you're stepping out of the shoes of the Halo franchise. That this is their first game that's not Halo in like a decade.
I would like to point out, Nick, that the dudes in this concept art look like a little edgier Halo dudes.
It's pretty much gritty Halo. It's like, well, I mean, that's like any sci-fi. It's gonna look like something else sci-fi to an extent, but I mean,
yeah.
Like they have to do it big, because like if they don't, it's just going to be underwhelming because everybody's
Yeah.
played Halo. Everybody knows what Halo's about, and they know it's like a
Now-
good game. So if they do something not exciting, no one's
Yeah.
going to care.
And there's a few really good points, especially in the Ars Technica article. This was my kind of not favorite paragraph, but a really telling one. Talking about how Metacritic obsessed game companies are,
Yes,
especially games
yeah.
like Activision. They're saying basically
good point.
commenting on how much hype is going to be behind this, and how this initial thing was essentially let's build excitement, behind Destiny. It's the kind of Metacritic obsessed comment from an Activision executive, one who's hooked his talons into the beloved Bungie no less, that could set message boards aflame. But maybe it shouldn't. The money behind Call of Duty and the heart behind Halo couldn't join forces without aiming their rifle scopes toward the review score stars. Of course, they have to. Merely great won't meet the lofty expectations attached to such an alliance. It's true. This game cannot come in and be anything less than 9 out of 10.
Well, that's
Everywhere.
exactly the problem. And
Has
if
to.
he were actually smart and was trying to fish for a good Metacritic score, he wouldn't overpromise. They wouldn't overpromise and overhype. Let people love the game. It's just, I mean, I get they have to do that because it's fucking,
don't give
but that's
the press like a preview where all you can show them is concept art.
Yep.
Exactly. It's not
Well,
going to help your cause.
I mean, there was a whole like 30 seconds of really early gameplay in the Vidoc that was released today. So
And
I
there
mean,
was
that's
clearly some gameplay shown to these people that were there that could not be talked about otherwise.
It's kind of like the equivalent. It's like the equivalent of it's like, especially our internet, the current state we live in. It's like go on YouTube and tell everyone in the description of a video that you're a comedian or something, and then do your act, and right away you put that target on your head where people are like, oh, this guy's a comedian, he's a funny guy, he's gonna make me laugh. And then the act could be really good, but all the people in there be like, well, that wasn't that fucking funny. Was this guy supposed to be a comedian?
Yeah.
I could do that. Whereas if you just went on and made a video that was funny, people are like, oh, that's fucking hilarious. Which is the same kind of notion with something like this, where it's like there's already a lot of expectation because it's Bungie. We've been overpromised and overhyped for about our entire lives. We're abused, beaten, fucking people. So just work on it and show me something meaningful when you have it. I know that
Also,
will never happen anymore.
One of the best ways to build up hype is don't do shit.
Yeah,
Respawn.
Look at Respawn.
Exactly.
Look at Respawn Entertainment.
Yes.
I want their fucking game. I don't even know what it is.
Right. What the fuck?
I just
Exactly.
want it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the,
Silence is golden, man.
and
It
what
really
you're
is.
saying with Bungie, right? Okay, so Bungie stops doing Halo, moves in with Activision. We know they're doing a Call of Duty at some point. We know that they're doing it. So they have to make Destiny really, really good. Like, it has to be hyped to the fucking rafters. Like, even more, Call of Duty, it's coming out next year. You know what I mean? Like, the hype machine is still going to be there, but it doesn't really need to. With this game, this has to be just... I mean,
It's got to be on every Mountain Dew bottle.
This is all you're going to see.
And I think, I think this exact influence where they're talking about Activision, I think this is the Activision side. Obviously, now that Bungie's working with them, Activision's like, well, we got to start hyping. We got to, a classic example of a company that doesn't understand a lot of, I mean, they understand the casual audience clearly because of Call of Duty's success, but they don't understand, I don't know, probably a lot of the diehards. And it's like, and I'm guessing if it was Bungie, they'd be like, fuck you. Let us work on this for a couple, as many years as we're going to, and we'll roll it out in our own timeline. I would almost guarantee that this is kind of the PR side of Activision, being like, what do you got for us? And they're like, we don't have shit. They're like, all right, we'll just animate some fucking art with some rain on it. So it kind of is like, oh, is that a storyboard? Or is that, like, what was that bullshit? Just, I don't care. I don't care.
I'll be interested to see how they try and market this game because
Yeah.
just from the preview alone, I don't really get what it is. Like apparently there's some first-person shooter element. I see spaceships flying. Can I apparently fly some sort of ship? I see like a desert with something. I don't know what it is. And then I see part first-person shooter, part open-world sandbox, and part persistent universe. I know kind of what that might look like because I've been a gamer a long time. No casual Call of Duty console player is going to understand what any of that means.
No, they're not.
And there's so many things. There's so many things working also against this game, in my opinion. And I'm going to start with the big one. The big one that none of these articles seem to mention, and we talked about before the show started a little bit.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is this game releasing for the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. This isn't even about the PC, people.
Well, to
The
be
new
fair,
systems-
those are the systems that it's confirmed for right now.
Yes, but why even do that? Make it a launch title. Make people go get those systems. Like, consoles have acknowledged by everyone, including Microsoft and Sony. It's been so long for this console cycle that at this point people almost don't care. Like, they will buy them, but you feel like the hype is almost a little less behind the Sony announcement on the 20th, and we don't know anything about Xbox.
The reason
Why-
Call of Duty is big on console right now, the only reason is because Call of Duty 2 was a launch title for Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would still be Halo to this day.
Well, funny thing about Call of Duty 2, it was also on the first Xbox, I believe. So that's an interesting point right there.
But
it was on both the next gen and the old console.
You need to make sure
But
it's
that
considered a
wasn't-
launch title.
Here's the thing, though, is that they're talking about this being a persistent universe. I foresee it being very difficult for them to try and sell a game on Xbox 360, PS3, and then whatever the two upcoming consoles are, and try and have that persistent universe where they, old console players can play with the new console players. I just don't I don't see that happening.
I feel like if these new consoles, and we don't know this, no one really knows this, they're coming out in November. Like, that's when they come out. They
Even
come
if
out in
they
November.
didn't, they're probably gonna come out right around or before this game comes out. If we're not able to see any gameplay or anything, this game is at least 6 months from being
This is
out.
what I don't get. Connor and Chat just made a good point. I can't wait to play this on my Xbox 360 for another 10 years. If you're buying this for Xbox 360, I don't know what you're doing. If you're a console gamer, like, that's fine, but wouldn't you be just getting the next console then?
Right.
Because the new Call of Duty is going to be on there. Whatever the next Halo is going to be on there. Whatever the next, Battlefield, as shitty as Battlefield 3 is on console, all these big titles are coming out right around when PS4 and Xbox 720 or whatever it's going to be called. Whenever those are coming out, that's when this game is coming. So why would you get it on a system that can't do as much, especially in a game that's going to have this massive world? Like, wouldn't you want that on the best performance possible? And there's not going to be a sub fee, so that's not... you're paying $60 and you have the game. But I don't understand.
If they can make that work, the persistent universe across like 3 different platforms, I would be fucking thrilled. Like, I would love to have, like, Titan, for instance, when that comes out, to be able to have the user bases on all of these
guarantee
platforms
Titan will be
play
on
together.
console as well.
Yeah, it would be cool as shit to see that happen, and it'd be nice. I just don't see it happening. Just not.
You're
That's
saying,
not the company
you're
I
saying
see
on
being able to do
PC
that.
and consoles?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it won't happen.
that's just the thing that I need to see, and that's not
Hey,
going to come out of
man,
Bungie. It's going to come out of
Shadowrun-
Blizzard.
Shadowrun is
Oh,
still
here we go
bumping.
with
Come on,
Shadowrun.
man. Cross compatibility between PC and
It
consoles.
can be done.
It's
so.
a bumping community, guys.
But
So,
what I would say is we don't have any confirmation it's a game for PC, but to me it'd almost be a crime if it doesn't come out on PC.
it probably
Especially
won't.
if you can make it work across those things. But I also think that Titan, we know Diablo 3 is coming to consoles. Blizzard's next title, Titan, is going to be the king. It's just going to be, as far as MMOs. And it will be on consoles as well. It will be on everything. Blizzard will not... now that they're with Activision, unless it's StarCraft, which is like pretty much impossible to play on a console, logistically, they're going to put the games out on consoles. So...
I feel like Bungie will not put up a fight to get it on PC. Like I don't.
No,
I feel
I
like
don't think
that
they care.
They've been beat into making an Xbox game for like what was it, like 11 years plus. So
yeah, but
they're not going to put up a fight about that.
But
They
I
don't
don't get
care.
why
They'll
it's
make
coming
their
out on the
console
old
game.
systems then either, because you need the capability. You're gonna
Because
need
Activision
those.
probably said so.
You make this a launch title for the Xbox 720. You get a limited edition Xbox 720 with a copy of Destiny, and that's just a huge amount of revenue that you're going to be making just from having a special edition console. Like, they're giving up so many opportunities here just to get the game out sooner. And I don't get it. Maybe they think people are going to buy a copy of the game for
Activision.
the new platform too, and that's not
Activision
going to
pressure,
happen.
man. That's Activision pressure, is what it is.
Probably. Nobody's going to buy the game on both.
At the end of the day,
you're a fucking idiot.
At the end of the day, this is all 100% speculation because there's been nothing concrete been said about this game. Like even through the Vidoc, they don't even say anything. It's like it's kind of like this and it's kind of like that, and it's like they don't say specifically what's happening. They're like, we're really inspired and we're really excited to start a new franchise. Blah blah blah. It's like, okay, you could show me things.
I love the examples that they gave to the press where like people were telling stories like devs or whatever that played the game, and their biggest experience was seeing another character in the game. Well, yeah, no shit when you're fucking in private testing. Oh, cool, another character of the 7 people that are in the game. It was so stupid and all like fluff to me.
So to bring it back, because people are like, well, they're talking about this console title, which I don't know. You can say Bungie hasn't. I actually feel like they would be just missing out by not just porting the shit over. I also am one of the people who I have no basis for this at all, but I think Windows 8 is eventually going to include a functionality that can play 360 titles on your PC through the Windows 8 App Store. I really think that's going to be a thing.
But you heard it here first.
I really, truly believe that's going to be a thing. It's going to be where you play in an emulated environment. You're going to have to play it through the Windows 8 App Store. So if you're on Windows 7, you won't be able to do it. But if you're on Windows 8, you'll be able to play Forza or whatever on your PC. I really think that's going to be a thing.
That'd be awesome.
But I have no basis at all.
If there's one feature that I read from an article that sounds really cool, it's the feature that's somewhat like Journey in the way that another partner will just appear. Like it'll matchmake it seamlessly in. Like somebody will just like show up. Like in Journey, you'll be like doing whatever the fuck, and then a guy will pop up around the corner and be like, hey, what's up? Let's do shit together. And like, that would be so cool. Like, what if you're just like shooting dudes and then like you meet up with another guy for no reason, and he's just like, let's shoot dudes together.
If I could play Xbox games,
really sold that to me, Nick.
Rumply
Okay, you don't understand.
Make a return.
No one has played Journey. You don't understand how good that feeling is. Like, it's
Nick, what you sound like you're telling me is it sounds like you've experienced what friendship is for the first time. Is that what
it is? Journey. Okay, I'm gonna go off on Journey right now, even though I talk about it all.
No,
Dude,
go ahead.
Won all the dev
Journey
awards
is
that
the
matter.
goddamn best game from last year. You're doing your whole little. You're doing your journey, trying to get to this goddamn mountain thing in the background, and you're walking, and then you meet up with some random guy that comes over a sand dune, and you're like, holy shit, there's another person in this game. It doesn't tell you who this person is. There's no name above their heads. It's just a random ass dude. And so you walk, and then all of a sudden you'll look behind you, and that guy will be gone, and you're like, what the fuck just happened to my friend? He's gone! What the hell is happening? And then you'll continue, and then you'll be like underwater or something. It's not really underwater, it's really trippy. That game's pretty trippy. The art style's really great, and the art design is fantastic. 10 out of 10, game of the year. And then, what was I? I forgot what I was talking about for a second.
Just went super jive right there.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That was a good review.
Journey is the best goddamn game on...
Dude, it won.
Give it an 8.5. Give it an 8.5.
I'll give it a solid 9.
But my Windows 8 theory clashes with what Jason Jones is talking about.
Oh, yeah, well.
Who
is this gonna turn into a rant of the week?
Here we go.
It might.
I mean, I don't know how it couldn't.
So what is he? The Halo Studios co-founder of
I think he was a programmer beforehand.
So Jason Jones, before everyone left us when we talked about consoles there for a second, but wow, I love the arrogance. The arrogance just it's dripping off this statement.
I can smell it wafting off the article.
No, it's fucking ridiculous. We did a bunch of ambitious things on Halo deliberately to reach out to people. Ooh. Jason Jones told us we limited players to 2 weapons. Holy fucking shit. We gave them recharging health. Well, I never. We automatically saved and restored the game. Almost heretical things to first-person shooters.
That's my favorite one.
Yep, heretical, dude. People were up in arms.
What the fuck? You could save your game? Holy shit!
The coup de grace
without a memory
coming up.
card anymore.
We made the game run without a mouse and keyboard, and now nobody plays shooters the way they used to play them before Halo because nobody wants to.
Okay. So I think it's very easy to misinterpret this as like specifically attacking mouse and keyboard, but I think that last part where like people don't want to play it like they used to
was
like
worst.
the very last part where he's like people don't want to play it like it used to. I think he's referring to that all of the things like they did a lot of stuff to change how FPS works.
Yeah, I agree. I want to get really mad, but I don't think he's saying that no one plays with mouse and keyboard.
But it's still
anymore.
dumb. It's still.
I'm only mad at the first part.
I agree. I don't think he's necessarily saying that nobody wants to play with mouse and keyboard. I think he's just saying no one wants to play games the way they played them before Halo came along. But that is, I mean, that statement is so incredibly arrogant that I don't even understand like where he thinks the money is in saying something like that. Because wow, limiting players to 2 weapons, that was like no one. I don't understand how that's like some huge thing that now games only allow you 2 weapons because of Halo. Not only is that not like true, but it just doesn't. I don't know.
There's a lot of credit.
Aneurysm.
There's a lot of credit that can go to Bungie for what they did for the console shooter. You can give them a lot of credit for that.
I agree with you. I totally
But a
agree
lot of
with
their
you.
mechanics are not like groundbreaking. Like recharging health. Oh, okay, you made health come back. Okay, sweet. I mean, that's not
4
as
lines
important
of code. Awesome job.
That's not as important as changing how FPS works on a console. That is all you should be credited for, really, because that's what you did.
And then you should just
No, and
credit
what
COD
changed the
for
way
doing
shooters
it
work
really.
on console, no matter what Bungie thinks, is GoldenEye. That's
true.
what made
That's
shooters on
100%
console
true.
important. So you can suck a bag of dicks. Because I'm serious. I mean, GoldenEye made console shooters
No,
a thing.
you are
I
100%
agree.
true. Because that was the only shooter up to that point that I had ever played on a controller. And when I first thought about doing that, I'm like 11 or 12 at the time, but I was still like, this is weird because I'd played Doom up to that point, which was a keyboard. So playing it with a joystick was just like, what the fuck? And then it was totally natural in that game. And them making that work was a technical feat. What Rare did, there's an article out there, which I don't have a link to right now, is an interview with one of the guys from Rare, which this was just like 4 months ago or so. I think it was on The Verge. I'm not sure, though. But this guy was like, here's what we did and like how we did this stuff. Because they did so much bullet decals. They were the first ones with bullet decals, and now no, Rare is not
take it
still
for granted
around
now,
yeah, all this shit is taken for granted. Being able to look up and down with a joystick and look around. Like what they did, they invented that. Then people like Valve and people like Bungie took it over and did what they did with it. But the people who deserve credit for revolutionizing FPS on console, John, you're 100% right. The dudes at Rare invented a thing that did not exist, just flat out didn't exist.
But
Until they made that game.
what Bungie did with Halo 2 was they changed how online FPS on consoles works. That's what they did. Best.
But he doesn't acknowledge that maybe they changed that for consoles. They've had a completely negligible impact on anything else. Like shooters in general, that I don't think Halo has had nearly as big of an effect as they seem to think they have.
Well, they're also making it seem like they're the second video game Christ here.
No shooters are anything like Halo. So you've had no influence on shooters. There is Halo, and then there are every other shooter.
Halo is Halo.
Yeah, like Halo, nobody's tried to mimic you because nobody wants to.
Yeah.
They let you have your thing because you do it well. You do Halo very, very well, except Halo Reach, which you did very poorly.
Hey.
Halo Reach was bad. Halo 3 was a phenomenal game, and Halo 2 is probably the best console shooter ever.
I can't hear you. No, Counter-Strike on Xbox One was the best.
CS Italy was exceptional.
But the first sentence of this, I just keep reading it. We did a bunch of ambitious things on Halo deliberately to reach out to people. Like, what the fuck, dude? You're like an evangelist or some shit of console shooters? Like, come on, dude. COD 4. Halo was big, but COD 4, in my opinion, is what really blew all that open. And then more Modern Warfare 2 on the console was just I mean,
huge.
Mm-hmm.
That is what blew the consoles up, really, was Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
Even I own that on Xbox. But it's just like, God, dude.
I've seen your KD.
It's like 0.86 or something.
He was working, he was trying to get into optic like everyone else.
Yeah, dude. I'm just trying to snipe, dude. All right? So, I think we're done with that, amazingly. But we'll see if Destiny comes to PC. I think it would be obviously a boon to it if it did, but as Nick said, Bungie doesn't
I'm calling
really
it now.
that.
It won't. You know why? You know why? Because Activision is also making Titan. So they know when Titan is going to release, and they're not going to have Destiny competing with Titan.
It's 100% true.
Summary, at least for me on this whole Destiny thing, is we should not care because there's not been anything that has been shown to us.
Yeah.
Like every other
again,
game that's being revealed right now.
as I've
If you don't see
stressed-
anything,
yeah.
you don't. That's how I look at it.
As I've stressed with console and just general gaming news that we report on now and then, yes, we are a PC gaming website and community, but what the consoles do does affect you, so you should be up on it. And so that is going to be a big title for that. So we'll see where it goes. But quick hits here to end the news. System Shock 2, and this was kind of crazy to me. This game came out in 1999. It is now finally available to buy for the first time since 2002, as it has been in a legal battle over the publishing rights. But you can finally get System Shock 2, and this is a game that many, many developers of your favorite games has influenced. This kind of took Half-Life into the horror realm a little more. I guess you could say that's kind of the best way to describe this game. Is Half-Life more in space and more horror-oriented. Dead Space, almost, you could say.
I hear if you like BioShock, you'll love System Shock.
Yes, it was made
It's
by
kind
the
of a
same
precursor to BioShock and Dead Space.
Yes.
A lot of really serious System Shock fans will say that BioShock was a letdown, a very serious letdown following
Compared to
that
System
game.
Shock 2, yeah.
Yeah,
And
because apparently that game is much more open than BioShock.
if you're worrying about, Rational Games made System Shock 2, and if you're worried about the graphics being dated, which, some people can't get around that, and I understand that, actually, completely, and they do look old now, because it's 1999, but there are a bunch of mods out there with high-res textures, just like there is for Deus Ex, the first game. There's a whole texture pack for that that's gigabytes in size, but for Deus Ex, the first game. You can definitely get those out there and modernize it. So System Shock 2, $9.99 over on Good Old Games. You can also get it on Steam soon, they said, but we don't know when that will be. And another classic being brought back. So Black Mesa was a hit. I played through the whole thing. It's awesome. It was worth the 7 years or whatever it was to get that. But Black Mesa Insecurity is coming out, which is essentially going to bring Half-Life Blue Shift into the new Source engine. It's not out yet, but it's getting there. And Blue Shift is the story of the security guard, Barney. And you'll be able to play that soon in Black Mesa Insecurity. You'll be playing as Barney, so it's going to be Blue Shift. So you'll be able to play through that soon in a Black Mesa type environment, which, if you know anything about Black Mesa or have played it, amazing. It's so much better than Half-Life 1. It's not, it's such a better game. So those are our two quick hits this week. So we're going to take a quick 90-second commercial break here, and then we will be back with the Twitter questions, bros.
Brandon, you better get typing with that staff badge, though. You got that staff badge now.
Oh, shit.
I'd like to keep it understated.
Oh, man. Understated, dude. You got to throw around your Twitch peen on the chat. Talking about.
I'm gonna go get a drink real quick.
Yeah, I'm going to get some water. So Dino Beatdown after stream? That's cute.
Guess it's just me and Nick here. Maybe not even Nick. I'm just alone. Scared now. Monologue time. Good, I'm not alone anymore. I had to hold down the fort by myself for about 30 seconds.
You'll be alright.
I don't know, the stream seemed to like it.
Hey, it could be worse. People complaining about ads. I could run the new 3-minute commercials.
Are we off commercial break?
Yeah, we are now.
Okay. Real quick, this goes way back to what we were playing, watching, blah, blah, blah this week, but for the record, if you guys have not yet blown through the House of Cards series on Netflix with Kevin Spacey,
No one talked about what we were watching.
We should.
well, I'm
we
going to
should,
talk
though.
about
I'm
it.
down
We
with it.
should.
Go ahead.
Next week. Next week we will. But real quick,
Fucking Sherlock, man.
well, Sherlock.
Yeah,
too,
he just
Oh my
started
God,
Sherlock.
it's
Before
so
we start
good.
Twitter, best
I
fucking
just
show.
started. Oh my god, right into my testes. I just want to. I don't know what that means, but I want to.
Yeah, but
Oh, man.
House of Cards is fucking unbelievable. If you just fucking watch it. Once you start, I finished the entire 13 episodes that are an hour apiece, and like, I went primal with it and was like throwing my feces and eating what I could find in my room until I finished it. So, it got fucking
Yeah, dude,
primitive.
Nick, I told you Sherlock.
Yeah,
Just
Sherlock is
amazing. Season 3 very soon, supposedly.
Oh, I'm so excited. Also, Skins series 7 is coming, but no one else cares about that because we're all 14,
No
right?
one ruined this, but guy in chat just said that's Sherlock ending. Exactly. That's
Yep.
all you
I don't.
need to know.
You end it. I'll ban you. I don't even care. I'll ban you.
You're done, son.
Spoilers.
All right. So heading into the Twitter, this first question, man.
This
I
is
don't
one that
know.
I recognize actually from inbox we've had. So
That's a good question, though.
yeah, no, it's a good one.
I don't know what you. I didn't
no.
watch that inbox, so I need to. I'll know your. I won't know your answer before.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't even remember what mine was.
So at C Brackney1 asks, if you could buy any 3 items at Walmart to freak out the cashier, what would they be?
Mm.
Walmart sells guns and shit, so this could go some crazy places.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
I'm trying to think of a good combo. Just,
I'd get a gun, melatonin, and some KY.
melatonin
Jesus.
and KY, just the possibilities. PVC gunpowder and matches from the chat just now. That is just
Pretty
pipe
good.
bombs. So
Mine
that's-
are. No wait.
But
I'm going first. I'm going
I'd
first.
buy. I'm just gonna keep cutting you off.
Okay,
Go
go.
ahead.
Whatever.
No, I'd buy condoms, KY, and a baby diaper.
God damn it! Diapers were in mine.
Well,
Mine are
excuse-
adult. Mine are adult diapers. A food. Or wait, no. I was gonna go with a set of Rubbermaid
3 copies of Spider-Man 3. Well
and
done.
and the largest bag of cat food possible that they offer at Walmart.
Someone in the chat went to Walmart today and got condoms, a home enema, and an airsoft sniper rifle.
Stare the cashier in the face straight.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Actually, my actual answer to this is none of this because I wouldn't go to Walmart. I'd rather kill myself.
So what I'd do if I had a kid, what you need to do, Dan, is you need to go into Walmart with your kid, give him a box of Magnum condoms, and then tell him to come meet you in the car and make him check out with them.
Make Hunter
That'd be
check
incredible.
out. Oh my god, that'd be
cool.
amazing.
Could I just get 3 of the smiley face stickers that the old people give you when you walk in?
They give you shit. I never get anything from them.
What? You never had that? They have like old people at the entrances, and then
Well, yeah,
if you're a kid, then they give you smiley face.
Well, yeah, if you're a kid. Okay.
Actually, any
Well, you can
combination,
get it if you're not a kid if you request it, I suppose. But
any combination of duct tape and other things is essentially
Pretty good.
like, what is this dude doing? Like duct tape, Oreos, and jugs of water. It's like, what is he doing? Does he just
The
like
hell's going
Oreos
on?
and need some water, or is he keeping a child in his basement? I don't
Yep.
know. I don't know at this point.
good.
Chat says 3 giant bags of generic cereal. That sounds about
That's
right.
Nick Fenton's whole
pretty good.
childhood. Yeah.
or maybe like virgin olive oil, a tarp, and then something else.
Tarp.
The tarp also brings like
And like
tons
maybe
of
like
scenarios into play.
a fire pit or something.
Fire
Wow.
pit. A spit, an automatic spit, a spit with like a motor. If people don't know what a spit is, it's what you roast things on. And it turns.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you lost me for a second there.
Yeah,
I
so-
got it.
Spit,
I
some
love
duct-
spit roasting,
some-
man. You know,
some
good
duct
spit
tape.
roasting.
and then just some. Well, I don't know, seasonings. Maybe some KY as well. because you gotta get that thing in there.
That's too easy. That's too
Yeah,
easy.
that is too easy. A sofa, a waffle maker, and a fishing pole. That's good. That's good only because I want to see you carrying a sofa to the checkout. Just
Oh, God.
3 books written by Bill O'Reilly. Chat is on fire tonight. Nick
Really
already has
is.
1. He just needs 2 more.
No, I have a Glenn. Oh wait, no. I have a Bill O'Reilly one. Bill O'Reilly, the Factor for kids.
That's right.
Yeah.
I almost said the X Factor. That would be a lot better.
Duct tape deer urine. What?
I was unaware they sold deer urine at Walmart.
Maybe it's for tracking deer? I don't know.
I don't think they sell deer urine.
Wait, I'm just going to keep reading a few from chat because they're pretty good. Kiddie pool, chocolate pudding, and magnums. That's a good one.
Oh my God.
Paint a deep fryer and a Christmas tree. Wow. I don't know what you're doing at that point. But I'm totally cool with that. Wow. A garden gnome, a 9-iron, and a 12-month sub to Xbox Live.
Oh shit. All right.
A child. Purchase a child at Walmart.
Xbox 360, 12 months of Xbox Live, and a copy of Brink. Done.
Yes. Yeah, then they'll be like, what the fuck?
Then they'll put you on suicide watch.
This guy wants to just end it. All right, this next question is a very informative question on a topic we haven't breached in a long time, but is an all-time KBMOD topic. At Malblood asks, I'm looking to get into Nighthawking. Any suggestions to finding other Nighthawkers having a first good outing?
This is a great question and a super easy one to answer if you use an iPhone. So there's an app that I use called iHawk. It's $2, but it's a one-time purchase. Unfortunately, we're still developing it for Android
Is
and
there
the other.
is there like a
platforms.
free light version that I could get?
No, there's no light version. We're working on that though. The light version though is not going to have the ability to find you at your location. You're going to have to manually type that in. So we're still working on it. But basically, what it does is you make a profile and you make a username, and if you pay the $2 for the app, it'll find your position. And then just like anything else, like if you have a taxi app, it'll find the nearest other person willing to Nighthawk. You can separate by parks and darkness of the park. So if you want it to be super dark while you're Nighthawking, it has like all these like geo maps and shit, and it will tell you the lighting.
Can you leave ratings for the lighting at the parks?
Yeah, no, all that. You can leave comments, and then you
Is it
actually
like a?
rate
Can I
your-
leave like a Yelp review of?
Yeah,
the
you
park?
rate the person that you Nighthawked with, and the people with the like they move up in the ranks, and then you want to always get ranked up with someone that's along your same rank, kind of like rank matchmaking, kind of like they do in Black Ops 2, so that when you are going to Nighthawk with someone, it's a equal level kind of deal. So
Okay. All right.
it's gonna be good. iHawk.
So
yeah, that's
for
great.
those of you who don't know, and you're maybe interested in Scott's app,
Yeah,
iHawk.
$2.
Nighthawking is when 2 men meet in a park and have a brutal fist fight, and then both fuck each other afterwards. That's Nighthawking. That's what it is.
In a nutshell.
It's not. There's no rape or anything like that. It's totally consensual. Both
Yeah,
parties.
yeah.
You fight, and then you have a bunch of sex. That's pretty much what it
Yeah.
is. But it has to be in a public park, preferably a public restroom in a park.
Right.
George Michael invented the sport a few years
Yep.
ago, but
They're actually
yeah.
replacing wrestling at the Olympics with Nighthawk.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they got rid of wrestling.
Can I mention that removing wrestling from the Olympics is probably the biggest sin in the history of the world's existence ever?
It's only
It's
like
a
the
fucking
original
disaster.
Olympic sport.
Yeah.
It's the
Pretty
original
fucked up.
sport in general. People used to fight each other. People have been fighting each
just
other
fighting.
since they were born.
Yep. So there you go. I would say if you're looking, the app is a great place to start.
It is a good place. We're still some technical things here and there. If it crashes, you can send a report real quick, and I'll take a look
If
at
you
it.
don't
Like,
have an
you could-
iPhone, go ahead, John.
Just go to the park and just start fighting somebody.
Yeah.
Who
That's
cares?
true,
Like,
too.
like Nighthawking doesn't have to be consensual. You just have to win the fight.
That's
Yeah,
true.
and then when you win the fight, be like, well, were you here to have sex with another man? 'Cause that's what I was here for, but we were supposed to have a fight first. And if he's like, no, you're like, oh shit, I need to find somebody else. And
Right.
you're like, I'm sorry. And then, you move on to the next burly man you see. Also lift a lot beforehand. You don't want to get too beat up. Unless you're into that. Then maybe you do want to get beat up. But otherwise lift. That would be a good Dunkus would be an excellent Nighthawker. For that
Dunkus
purpose.
would. I'm trying to get him into the sport, but I don't know. He only ever wants to fuck. He never wants to fight, which is interesting. I wouldn't have thought that because he's so ripped. But I tell him that we have to do the fight portion first to get
He
riled
works
up.
out for stamina.
Yeah, it's true.
So Brandon has to peace out. There's a strange man at his door, possibly for Nighthawking. He may have used iHawk and stayed at home tonight.
They're gonna
which
walk
is
to the
That's
nearest
true.
park together.
interesting.
Well, they won't get as the rating. They're gonna not really get a really high rating for that match. But if he decide to Nighthawk in his apartment, that's their business.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, that's
it's
not
not a big
really our problem at
Nope.
that point.
Nope.
And we won't commentate it live, although we'd like to. But,
Yeah,
you know, it's
absolutely.
Chris Hansen at Brandon's Story. Yes. So, next question. At Sage the Elephant asks, if you were to go on a field trip through the world of any video game, which game would it be? Keep in mind you're a kid in this scenario.
The world.
Is there some dangerous worlds that don't seem dangerous, like Super
Yeah.
Mario Brothers?
Yeah,
There's, like,
absolutely.
Goombas and turtles and shit out to get you.
I'd
Yeah,
go
it
to
can't be
fucking Fez, dude.
Fez ain't bad. Fez
If I was
isn't
a
bad
kid.
choice.
If I could go right now, I'd go to Rapture, no doubt. Place is fucking baller.
GTA
Trying.
San
Maybe
Andreas. What a San Andreas.
Oh man, what was a game that was just all happy? And
I go to Orion Dino Beatdown. Fuck it.
God.
Oh, you mean Purgatory?
Leisure Suit Larry. Leisure Suit Larry. Totally.
Wow, dude.
Ninja Carpet. That's a good
So
one.
much pussy.
That's a good one. Get so much pussy as a young 7-year-old.
That's a hard one. Maybe just Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. God.
Realize
the
everything
kid-
goes to shit.
Yeah, but the kids
Okay.
survive. Oh, I got a loophole, bitch. I survived.
Doesn't mean you'll survive. You're not one of those kids.
Uh,
You're your own kid.
100% of the kids that went to Jurassic Park survived. So how about checkmate, bitch? Statistics say
two.
I will.
2 for 2. Metro 2033, another really terrible choice.
Anti-flash games.
While you're in Russia, play some Dota, you nerd.
I think Katamari Damacy is a good answer.
Mm.
Katamari Damacy is a good answer because
Well.
nothing goes wrong in Katamari Damacy, minus the fact that the world is
except-
ending.
No, you'll get picked up by a giant ball. Why would
But
you
if you're
do that?
doing the picking up.
That's not a kid.
All right,
Well,
Binding of
he's
Isaac is the
kind of a
worst
kid,
answer.
right?
That's the worst answer.
Yeah.
That game is essentially torturing a child. So, yeah, that's not a good answer. Skyrim. God, some terrible, some terrible answers. Saints Row. Actually, that's not a bad call. Minus the fact that you're dead. COD 4 Shipment, just as a thing. Not bad.
Be a great place to camp out.
Yeah, Just Cause 2 multiplayer. That actually would be really fun for a kid.
Until you get shot.
So you just get fucking
So
destroyed by
somebody
a vehicle
spawn
falling
camps
out
you
of
with
the
their
sky.
You
airplane.
just respawn at the airport. It's okay.
Yeah, they just have airplanes flying over every place you respawn.
Is it
People
so? It's
just-
the multiplayer.
Yeah.
Is that, oh well, then it would just be everybody be walking around screaming racial slurs and telling everybody what their favorite YouTubers are and if they're in the same game with them. That's true. If you go into
Are you
any
Captain Sparkles?
anytime you go into Just Cause multiplayer, they're always talking about YouTubers and racist stuff. Every time, it doesn't matter.
That's all it is. It's a bunch of racist and YouTube fanboys.
Sometimes they're combined. They're calling YouTubers racist things.
How
No
you
one would
mid-market
ever do
retarded.
that on the internet. That is crazy. All right, last question. At Ren LOL asks, if Lil B made/produced a video game, what would it be about? What would be its genre? Well, it would be based. First of all, it's not really
Definitely
a
would be
genre.
based. It would be Little B would not make a game that would conform to any of the genres we currently know. It would be something so mind fucking and enlightening. I don't even know if we're worthy to even try to answer the question, to be honest. I think this is kind of a sacrilegious question.
Yeah, I
Being
don't-
based. That
It would
the
be a
genre.
cooking
would
game.
be
It'd
cooking
be
coach.
Cooking Mama, but with Lil B.
I would play so much of that.
I would play the shit out of Cooking
Oh
Mama
my
starring
God.
Lil B. Oh my god.
It'd be a pussy
looking
slaying
at-
simulator. It could be. Could be.
Cooking Mama
And just be a
starring Lil
game where you walk around and fuck other people's girlfriends. You just like walk
Yeah.
up to people on the street and just bend over the dude's girlfriend and start
Rang
yelling
dang
at her.
dang them. It's different.
Barang-a-dang-dang.
And you got a
Rang,
big
dang,
blank
dang,
ring. Big blank
Look
ring.
like Usher Raymond.
Put me on the couch. Just interview my girl.
First name.
150
Oh.
MySpace, 100 million YouTube.
First, I park my car, then
Then
I
I
fuck your
fuck
bitch.
your
That would be
bitch.
the
I'm
name of
fucking
the
working.
game.
I think I'm God. Oh, I hope that happens. I hope he makes a
Modern
game.
Warfare 4 base soap would be a good one. Lil B's Nirvana Path to Heaven. Not a bad call. Journey
Right.
starring Lil B. I would probably go with that.
Shit.
Nick's probably shitting his pants, but
No, Little Journey does not need anything. It's a perfect game.
all right, guys. That is it.
Yeah.
Appears to be it for the podcast tonight. We didn't get that many Twitter questions tonight, but actually, this is a good one I'm going to add right now because Scott will be interested. At Westside FPS, since Gabe Newell spelled Newell wrong, but that's okay, and J.J. Abrams are working together on games, could this mean another Jedi Power Battles?
Oh
'Cause
shit.
it could, because we have the Star Wars license involved.
It will never be as good as the original. It's just not possible. But
Oh, and
I'm
I'm
willing
an
to keep an
expert,
open mind. And if they do use the Jedi Power Battles like name, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna have no choice. So
I mean, I think it should be at EVO. I think that game should be at EVO this
yeah.
year.
Oh, absolutely.
Jedi Power
I
Battles.
agree. I think it's been overlooked.
I
we'll
will
see.
pay $8.99 for HD Jedi Power Battles 1v1s.
Jedi Power Battles is the shit.
There's fans of it in the chat. Wow.
I know. I see that. Yeah. Good man.
So, all right, guys. Well,
Well,
that is it.
I gotta get back to the club. So I'm walking back in. I'll see you guys later. All right. Woo! Oh shit! Oh my god! Oh, that drop! You looking hot tonight! Woo! Put your hands up!
That's it, guys.
Who came to
Coming
party?
out. We'll see you next time.